Welcome to our DIPE WSSC Park and Planning Press Conference. We're happy to have all of you with us today. My name is Susan Hubbard, and I am the Public Information Officer for the Department of Permitting, Inspections, and Enforcement. I am going to turn the program over to our director, Dr. Haitham Hijazi, but I wanted to introduce a few folks who are here with us today. From the state delegation, we have Delegate James Hubbard. We have from the county, we have Andre Green, our county attorney, Ms. Green. Pam Creekmore, our director of the Prince George's County Health Department. Pam, okay. Fern Perrette, the director of the Prince George's Planning Board. I saw her, I don't see her now. There she is, in the back. We have a very special guest with us today, Dorothy Bailey, who is the former Prince George's County Council Chair. Dorothy? There you are. Yes. We have Betty Hewlett, who is the chair of our Prince George's Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, and Betty will be speaking with you in a few moments. We have Mr. Clark Wagner, who is the president of the Maryland Building Industry Association. Marcus Jackson, their legislative liaison, is also with us today. And Hillary Colt, who was a speaker at last year's program and with BIA as a vice president, is here with us today as well. We have Mr. Omar Boulware, a WSSC commissioner and chair of the commission, and Mary Hopkins Navies, who is also a WSSC commissioner. From, we also have Andre Asayans representing the Department of Public Works and Transportation. Andre was way in the back there, so I didn't see him for a moment. I'm sorry. We have Gary Cunningham from the Department of Permitting, Inspections, and Enforcement, who is our deputy director. We have our various associate directors with us, as well as staff from the department as well. And I believe that as the speakers come up, if there are staff members from their various agencies, they will acknowledge them as well. We also have, sitting with us today, Mr. Steve Darcy, representing the Prince George's Soil Conservation District. I hope I have captured everyone. And now I'd like to turn the program over to our director, Dr. Haitham Hijazi.
Thank you, Susan. Good morning. Good morning again. Good morning. I'm excited. Are you? Yeah. All right. Thank you, Andre Green. You're the best. And we appreciate all of you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Welcome to DIPE. This is our second year of DIPE. We've just really celebrated our anniversary a month ago. But I want to say thank you to all of you for being here, for being a partner. We're working together. We really appreciate what you have done to make this a success, to make really Prince George's County shine, to make DIPE shine, to make all of us shine for the sake of Prince George's County citizen. I will be remiss if I don't really acknowledge and recognize my boss, our leader, County Exec Baker. The vision of his vision, his talent, his commitment to the citizen of Prince George's County, what made this a reality. If it was not for Mr. Baker, we would not be here. DIPE would not exist. As I said to some of you last year when we opened the DIPE and we done the ribbon cutting, County Exec Baker made history. And because every county executive in the history of Prince George's County tried to do what Mr. Baker has done, and they have not succeeded in doing so. But Mr. Baker succeeded and really established that one-stop shop that everybody was dreaming of. So thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for all the elected officials. Thanks for all departments. Thanks for the staff. I can tell you, a year ago, prior to July 1st, 2013, nobody believed DIPE would have existed. Everybody was taking bets on Haitham failing to establish DIPE. You proved all of these folks who had doubt wrong. I can tell you, even my own staff, when I was in Public Works and Transportation, they doubted me that we would be able to establish DIPE. And some of them were even fighting me, says, you're nuts, you're out of your mind. But they saw the light, they came around and they worked with us to make this a success. This is not Hytham's effort. This is county exec leadership who put every agency in this county to work together in partnership from the top all the way down, where we had groups that we met every week, different groups, different issues, different items that we had to tackle until we made sure in less than 10 months we were able to create DIPE and make DIPE as a reality. Again, thank you to Mr. County Executive. And actually, I can't say enough about this County Executive and what he has done to date for me. He even described me as George Washington. When George Washington was a general, he won the war and then he became president. I don't deserve that. All that I'm trying to do is become like the county exec Baker and emulate his footsteps. Because if you want to succeed, you have to really move up the ladder step by step. Again, he made history last year, but he made history this year. I just want to acknowledge my bosses here, Mr. Nick Majette and Victor Hoskins. I know this county executive knows where the talent is, and he recruited those two gentlemen from Washington, D.C. When we were trying to put DIPE together, we really searched around the jurisdiction, see who has the best, one-stop shop. We went to Montgomery County, we went to Howard County, went to Arundel County, went to Fairfax, we went also to Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C., by far, had the best one-stop shop. I want to tell you, Mr. Majette, welcome to Prince George County. I know you're a long-term citizen, and Mr. Hoskins, to Prince George County and DIPE. We went there, we learned from your successes, and we tried, we really gotten the best that you have already accomplished over there. But I have news for you. We took it one step further, or a few steps further, and we really made it a reality where we brought 9 agencies together under the umbrella of DIPE, because the citizens of Prince George County, the customers of Prince George County deserve, the best that's out there. And that's, again, it's the reality. But today, we're here to celebrate another history in the making for Prince George County and for County Executive Baker. Again, when we said prior to July 1st, 2013, look, we're trying to get all these 9 agencies. And among those 9 agencies, what? WSSC, Parking Planning, Soil Conservation. Everybody chuckled at me and they laughed at me. But those folks who chuckled, I said, wait, the proof is in the pudding. This county executive means business, and he will make it happen. WSSC was really phase 3 of the process, but it became phase 2. Congratulations, Mr. General Manager. We really appreciate your commitment. I know you worked with Mr. Majette in D.C. Between DCRA and DC WASA. You made that one-stop shop, and you were really very helpful there. And again, you made it here. But I'll be remiss if I don't really talk about the council chair. The council chair asked me 6 months after we started DIPE, I said, can you come over here and give us a presentation, a briefing about where you are with DIPE, what you've done. So I talked about what we've done and what we're trying to do. And I told him that we're still working with WSSC and it's going to be phase 3. This is another leader in Prince George County said, no, we need to make it now. What is going on? So he really asked the general manager to come, and also the general manager met with the chairman of the council, met with county executive, and what's happened is what you have today. We have now an MOU signed because everybody now knows the importance of taking those customers, of taking those one-stop shop. Again, Mr. General Manager, I really appreciate what you have done, and we appreciate having your staff here. Actually, as soon as the general manager said yes, and his team said we're going to go forward, I couldn't get WSSC staff held at the door. They were faster and wanted to push us further to get this MOU signed ASAP. So again, I really was very humble and appreciative for all of our elected officials and for our county executive and general manager to make this happen. I can't say enough about my dear friend, Madam Chair Betty Hewlett. She's been with us from day one, and she said to me, look, Hytham, yes, we are a different agency, but we want you to succeed. We will give you everything you need to succeed. So don't worry about it. Whatever staff you need, all you need to do is let us know. So from the day one, she was a team player. She made her staff understand that we have to staff DIPE to make sure to take care of business. But not only that, she was instrumental working with her staff to make sure that the environmental unit section is part of DIPE. So there is no finger pointing, and the customer does not have to be sent to Upper Marlboro and also Largo or Baltimore or Laurel. So they'll get one message. The customer can meet with all the staff in DIPE and get one message, and will not have to be sent back and forth as a ping pong, ball. So again, Madam Hewlett, I really appreciate your help. The county attorney, thank you. I appreciate what you've done for us. Initially, again, we said we need a lawyer. She said, you don't need a lawyer. I said, well, if you don't give us a lawyer, we can hire two. She said, no, we'll take care of you. And she really made sure her staff are here. A bond used to get us, for a bond, BIA, and how long it takes a bond to be approved in Prince George's County. It used to take 6 to 8 weeks. And now, in a few days, we can get bond approved. Andre, thank you very much. The health officer, thank you. You were really a person that you had faith in the program, had faith in DIPE, and you pushed along, and you signed on the dotted line from day one without any questions asked, and says, look, whatever we need to do for the citizens of Prince George County, we'll do. So I really appreciate what you've done. And your staff been fabulous. The relationship has been working fine. Actually, something we did not count on is the license. Folks used to go to the health department for a license. They used to go to DR and here and there. Now, since the really creation of DIPE and joining all our forces together, if you need a license, you go to one place and you get that license done. And we automated that. So you don't have to do it by paper. You can just do it online and get things done. We also improved in technology. OIT, thank you. We have an county executive and county council for putting the money to be able to have an e-plan in place. So this way you can submit your plans electronically. You can also have the comments electronically. Everybody will see the plans at the same time, including WSSC, including parking planning, including all of the review agencies and soil conservation. Steve Dorsey, thank you very much. Steve was not in charge when we started DIPE, but also they were, if you worked for 30 or 40 or 50 years the same way, you don't want to change. So when we talked to soil conservation district, they said no. We're happy. We have our, Taj Mahal in Upper Marlboro. We have great service. We're doing things in 2 to 3 days. If you make us part of DIPE, you're going to make us go backward. I said, no, let's talk. And I talked to their board and talked to their staff. We had a few sessions and I pleaded my case. And then at that time, Mr. Seaman says, look, go and do your miracle. Whatever you need to do, do it. And then I came back. In a few weeks, Mr. Seaman got a letter from Soil Conservation says, we're on. We're signed on the dotted line. And we gave Steve Dorsey an office over here, and he's going to be here also as of October 1st. Mr. General Manager, you're going to sign today. We'll give you also an office and a suite over here. And you're more than welcome, free of charge, give you the equipment and anything you need to make sure that we're all successful in doing business. But overall, that's what I'm saying. This county executive has made history twice in a row. But it would not have happened if we all did not work together as a team. But I really appreciate everybody's effort, and thank you very much, and God bless you. I'd like now to introduce our chairman of the county council as the next speaker. Thank you.
Let's give Dr. Jazzy another round of applause. That was wonderful. Let me just say, on behalf of the county council, we're excited about today. It is a continuation of what I believe our county executive recognized when he came into office, that we needed to change the culture of how we do business in Prince George's County. And I want to give our county executive a big round of applause for his vision in making today happen. I know he's not here, but he's here in spirit. We've worked in close partnership. I don't believe there's been a time when the council and the executive had a closer relationship and worked together on one accord as we have at this time. And DIPE is really a culmination of that vision. Dr. Hijazi your leadership, your inspired leadership, the leadership of your team. We thank you. You took on a responsibility that, a lot of people were doubtful about whether we could make it happen. But we all believed that to make government work better means that we must be more efficient. We must move into the 21st century, and we must deliver what the customers, the business community, and our residents need to have delivered. And you've taken on this job and this responsibility with a fervor that none of us could have imagined. So thank you, sir. Thank you for your leadership and your efforts and the efforts of your entire team. But this wouldn't be possible without the partnership. WSSC, Maryland National Capital Park and Plan, the Soil Conservation District, all of the partners that are part of making today happen. Dr. Ajazi did a great job of going through everybody, so I won't redo that. But this is a victory for all of you, for the concept that we're one Prince George's County. We're all pulling together towards the same purpose and the same goal. As we say on the council, we're bringing the world to Prince George's County. But we can't do that without recognizing that public service is customer service. And we want our business community to go to other jurisdictions and say to them, look at Prince George's County. We can get a permit in 5 days when it takes 50 over here. Those are the stories we want to start hearing happen all across the region. And that's what today is about. It's about making Prince George's County not just competitive, but second to none. And so we're proud of today. We think we're one more step towards that ladder of progress as county executive, going from good to great, as we say, going from great to greater. We're making it happen. Thank you, all of you. I want to keep things moving. Our CAO, Nicholas Majette, what do they say? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I think we've done more than imitate the district. I think we're surpassing the district. And with your help, with Mr. Hoskins' help, we're going to make it happen. I want to bring up our CAO, Nicholas Majette.
Good morning. I certainly can't follow my script because Director Hijazi has gone over it all. He did such a comprehensive presentation that it's not much more I could say that hasn't already been said before. But on behalf of the County Executive Baker, I bring you greetings. If he were here, he would say it's another great day in Prince George's County, and indeed it is another great day in Prince George's County. As Director Hijazi indicated, I was a former director of the Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs in the District of Columbia, and I remember vividly when the group from Prince George's County came over to that agency to take a look at how we did business there. And during my tenure at DCRA, we developed a one-stop center to make it more business-friendly, and so that developers and so forth and businesses could get their business licenses and building permits as quickly as possible. One of the examples I use is, and I guess it's okay to use Costco, when I attended the International Council of Shopping Centers in Las Vegas about 3 years ago, I met some of the executives from Costco, and they said, you know, it takes such a long time to get a permit in the District of Columbia. We're kind of worried about that because we were trying to get them to open a Costco in the District of Columbia. And I said, I pledged to them to make it as seamless and as quick as possible. And about a week after the conference or the convention, they called me and said, hey, you know, we're going to take you up on your offer. So they submitted their building plans, their business license application, and we actually approved it and got it done in record time. When they opened their first 3 days of operation, they grossed over $700,000 each day, the first 3 days. And so if you look at the amount of real estate taxes they had to pay, because we couldn't tax the building until it was erected and under roof. If you look at the 60 employees that they hired who were DC residents, if you look at the income tax that those individuals paid, if you look at the sales tax we collected from the company, it puts into perspective how important it is to make it business friendly, to give permits in as quick a time as possible, to give the business license in as quick as time as possible. And this is what we're doing in Prince George's County. And Hytham, pretty soon I'm going to take credit for the one-stop center in Prince George's County. But this is really, for me, deja vu all over again, because I remember starting the one-stop center in the district, And now Director Hytham has taken that one-stop concept and did what he should have done. He improved upon it. So now it surpasses the District of Columbia's one-stop center. He's improved upon it, and we want businesses to know, we want visitors to know, we want guests to know that Prince George's County is open for business. There's so much going on in terms of economic development. I always look at the jewel of at least I consider the jewel of Prince George's County, National Harbor. And we've improved upon that. We now have Tanger Outlets, which is one of the highest grossing outlets in the country. MGM Resort broke ground a week or two ago. And, you know, the hospital center in Largo. Just so much going on that, you know, this is going to be the destination in the entire world, as the chairman of the council indicated. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be the chief administrative officer in Prince George's County because there's so many good things going on. And I'm just one of those. I like to see progress. I like to see movement. And that's what we have in Prince George's County. So not to belabor this any longer, I'd like to present our deputy chief administrative officer for economic development, who was my partner in the District of Columbia, as life would have it. We both ended up in a new jurisdiction, except that in the District of Columbia, he was my boss. I actually reported to him. And luckily, he was nice to me. You know, he was nice to me. But we actually had a good partnership because he got the developers in, and I got them out. He brought them in, and I got the permits, and I got their licenses in record time. And so we're going to do the same thing in Prince George's County. It's a new day in Prince George's County. Thank you for being here. And now I'd like to present Victor Hoskins.
Thank you so much. Saying I was a nice boss. The CAO is an incredible individual. When I met him and I first started working for the District of Columbia, I told him permits were at the core of economic development. Permits are at the core of economic development. Permits are at the core of economic development. And I think he got the message. But he was way ahead of me. He had thought about it, and he implemented a strategy that actually just blew off the doors. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm grateful for the county executive for allowing me to serve in this role as Deputy CAO of Economic Development and Infrastructure. And what I do know is that Prince George's County is going to be what he envisioned it, which is the economic engine of this region. That's what he told me he wanted. He said, I want to create this. He said, I want to create this as the economic engine of this region. My predecessor, Carla Reed, along with Lavinia Baxter and Dr. Hijazi, and many others, they came together to create an incredible model for processing of permits. I mean, to hear that something like a business license permit took, 4 to 6 weeks before, now just takes a couple of days. That's just amazing. I mean, for me, that's just to hear that is amazing. And for plans that took 16 weeks now take 4. I mean, that time is money. And that was what Director Majette was saying. Time is absolutely money. If we don't focus on time, the developers will go away. They do not want to be frustrated with us and our bureaucratic processes and excuses for not moving something along. The one-stop center has already, DIPE has already, set some new records for us. And I just feel very fortunate that I come at a time like this where so much is moving ahead. When I entered the District of Columbia, it was flat on its back. But we managed in 40 months to do 88 projects, $7.5 billion in total development. My goal is to exceed that here in Prince George's County. We have the opportunity to do transit-oriented development that is unparalleled anywhere in this region. We have the opportunity to transform neighborhoods, as the county executive has so aptly poured resources into them. Places like Suitland and others, which he is focused on in changing not just the physical, but changing the social environment, getting people to work and changing lives. And that's really the most important things, that we change lives.
I was very fortunate to serve with an individual like Director Majette, who understood the need to work as a team. Without teamwork, you can't go anywhere. I loved the last Super Bowl game. Anybody see the last Super Bowl game? I absolutely loved the last Super Bowl game, because what you saw was an individual trying to win a game, and you saw a team winning a game. You saw an individual trying to win a game, and you saw a team winning a game. Now, I wish they were a local team, like, from here in Prince George's County, but they weren't. But the point is the teamwork, and that's what you have here. You now have WSSC. You now have soils. You now have planning. You have everybody working together as one team. That's what this is. And through a team effort, you can exceed all of the things that you think you can do by yourself. The county council chair just mentioned that, we want to bring the world to Prince George's County. Well, we're starting this month. We're bringing some Chinese investors to look at some sites across the city, and we hope to have some great things to announce when we go to China. We are talking to other foreign entities about investing in Prince George's County, because Prince George's County, honestly, is the greatest economic opportunity in this region right now. One of the things that has caused it to be behind has now put it ahead. You can't beat the lease rates here, and you can't beat the permit processing here. And with that, I would like to introduce the GM and CEO of WSSC, Mr. Brown.
Thank you very much. This is indeed a very exciting day for all of us in Prince George's County. And I'd like to maybe start by just thanking Dr. Hijazi for his modesty. He talked about having built this thing out and all the effort that went into making it happen, but he never talked about himself and how dogged, determined he was to make this thing happen. I mean, he was knocking on doors all over the place. So I think he deserves a hand also. And I know that you did salute a number of other people, but if it were not for your leadership, which emanated from the county executive, we would not be standing here, and I would not be standing here. We would not be doing the things that we're doing today. So this is indeed a great opportunity. I'd also like to acknowledge one other person, Luis Tapia, who's here in the audience. Luis Tapia was the person who was here knocking down the doors once we got the go-ahead. And once we got the go-ahead, we kept moving to make sure that this was going to be a success in getting it off the ground and making it happen. And obviously, that go-ahead does not come without the blessing of the chairman of the Board of Commissioners, and who's here with us today, Omar Boulware. Omar is with us today, as well as Commissioner Navies, who's joined us here today. And they obviously had to be behind the effort to make everything happen for us. But one of the things that I was explaining to Dr. Hijazi very early on was what we needed to do for ourselves was what they tell you when you first get on an airplane, when they're giving you all those instructions and they're acting like they're blowing in the bag and all those things. They say, if the oxygen mask should fall, put yours on first, then help the person next to you. And that was what we had to do at WSSC. We had a lot of internal work that we needed to do to get ourselves together so that we could be a worthwhile partner, so that we could partner with you in a way that would accomplish the objectives that you want to accomplish here. So that was very, very critical. So I'm real pleased that we're strengthening the partnership, a continuing partnership with Prince George's County, and we pride ourselves in being partners in economic development. I once upon a time had responsibility for the Economic Development Office in the city of Richmond, Virginia, and that was tough going, let me tell you, trying to transform an urban environment to be something that you really want it to be. So I understand the kinds of challenges that you face with economic development, and I understand that the permitting process is a very critical element of making those things happen. And we want to be a part of the success of Prince George's County. We want to be a part of the success of economic development and growth in Prince George's County. By bringing ourselves and staff under the roof of DIPE, we can address issues faster, we can address them more effectively and efficiently, and all of this is better for the customer, and that's who we ultimately serve and who we have responsibility to. You know, we deliver water on a regular basis, and we like to try to keep it in the pipes as much as possible. And but the thing is that we want the water to flow. And when the water is flowing and flowing smoothly and going where it needs to go, and everybody can just go and turn on their tap and get that product that they're looking for, is the kind of happening that we want to see. Well, now we're going to create the same kind of flow within DIPE, working very closely with park and planning and working closely with soil conservation and all the agencies here in Prince George's County to ensure that we're successful. And I like that concept of the world coming to Prince George's, and we want to be a part of that as a world-class organization. I'd like to now introduce Ms. Betty Hewlett, who's the chairman of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission.
Thank you so very much, Jerry. So good morning, everyone. There is so much excitement in the air here today. I feel like we are channeling Michael Jackson. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The commission is absolutely thrilled to be a part and to have played a part in the county executive's signature initiative from day one, working together with all the other agencies and departments on this critical signature initiative to bring an expeditious process to this permitting process. It is so very, very important in Prince George's County, and when Director Hytham Hijazi mentioned that the county executive meant business, believe you me, he meant business. He put us on a tight timeline, and he said, you better deliver. And I want to thank Dr. Hijazi because Jerry mentioned it, everybody else mentioned it. He cracked that whip. He did deliver. And Hytham said that nobody believed him, and they were taking bets against him, but Hytham, some of us had our money on the right side of this equation because we knew we were collectively all going to come through for you and for our county executive to make this a business-friendly, user-friendly, expeditious permitting process that has some finality, and there's no question. You don't have to run all over the place. It is predictable, and it is timely, and it does have finality, so we want to give it up. Prince George's County is open for business, and the commission is thrilled to have been a part of it. This is huge. This is huge for Prince George's County. We are committed and excited to fulfill the county executive's vision. And I do want to take a moment to acknowledge our park and planning staff. I know Planning Director Fern Perrette was here. I don't know if she's still here. There she is. No time to be shy and retiring, Fern. Stand up. Okay, Vice Chair Bailey, stand up. All the rest of our park and planning staff who worked so hard on this, including working on the MOU. Want to give a shout out to Carla Reed, too, because she was part and parcel of this process. And we're working with the business community. Mr. Majette and also Mr. Hoskins mentioned, all the opportunities in Prince George's County. We are ripe with transit-oriented development and all the other development opportunities. So I am going to close still channeling Michael Jackson and saying this is our daggone victory tour right here in Prince George's County. And when we open up all of these wonderful, magnificent facilities that are going to be expedited right here in Prince George's County, it is our victory tour, and it's our opportunity to get those things right. And it's our opportunity to learn from all the other jurisdictions as we develop our metro stations right here in Prince George's County. And by the way, some of these permits are not only from 6 weeks to 4 days, but some of them are walkthroughs in 1 day. So with that, thank you, Hytham. Thank you, everyone who's part of the team. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Chuck Wagner, president of now called the Maryland Business Industry Association. So come on down. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Clark Wagner, president of what the chair said was now Maryland National Capital Building Industry Association. I'm sure you're all used to hearing that mouthful over the years. And as she alluded to, we are merging with our association to the north in Baltimore and being renamed Maryland Building Industry Association. And that merger will be effective on September 1. The most important thing for you all, as far as that merger goes, is that you know that our great staff person, Marcus Jackson, who's standing in the back, will be here in Prince George's County to stay, and all the hard work that he's been doing, working with all of you, will continue. So a quick round of applause for Marcus. Thank you, Marcus. I want those in attendance to know how much the industry appreciates having been invited to this event. I truly believe that the working relationship between the building industry and every level of county government has improved over the last 4 years. Part of that improvement has been a direct result of County Executive Baker's desire to create a development services program spearheaded by Department of Permits, Inspections, and Enforcement, DIPE, which is not only the best in the Washington area, but can also serve as an example for the rest of the country. What's occurred here in Prince George's County over the last year has resulted in what the building industry views as a significant improvement to the development review process. We in the industry have been very impressed at the level of creativity and effort that's gone into implementing changes that we feel have been necessary to create a first-class development review process. DPI has not only manages the process in a transparent way, but also has added a level of predictability that was not previously integrated into the process. For that, we truly thank Dr. Haitham Hijazi and his capable team. As an example of this creative thinking we see today, the integration of those agencies that influence the development process within DPI. This integration can only lead to a smoother and more efficient program, which will allow builders and developers to bring their product to the market in a timely fashion. This will benefit both the future and current residents of the county, which is the ultimate goal of the government. One example of how the county benefits from an overall shorter time frame is the ability to capture tax revenue that would otherwise be lost due to delays in the process. In other words, if the final record plat for a property is recorded months or even years earlier due to process improvements, tax revenue would be captured for that increment of time. Otherwise, it would have been lost forever. And as an aside, this is a point we've been making to another county, which I won't mention nearby, because the process there is ultimately way too long. And so, I think the ultimate benefit of all process improvements, whether it's permits that you all have been mentioning or record plats, which I've brought up, is that really it's a benefit to the county in terms of your tax coffers. And I think that's important for us to keep our eyes on. This creativity, this efficiency, this predictability is what the industry has been asking for. We are honored to have been part of this process to construct this new system. We view the transparency in the process as positive, and we are thrilled at the results that we are seeing. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all of our guest speakers. We'd like to ask you to stay with us for just a few more minutes so you can witness this historic event. And it is historic because this is the first in the region, especially in Montgomery County and Prince George's County history. So we're a step ahead of everybody when it comes to that. Yes, Ms. Hewlett, yes, you may cheerlead out there. I'd like to ask the signers if they would come up to the table, Mr. Majette, Mr. Hijazi, Mr. Johnson, and Ms. Hewlett, please.